Submissions on the legality of the detentions of 5 men held under the state of emergency will take place tomorrow in the Supreme Court. Now, this follows an order made last week by Justice Bertram Morrison on habeas corpus applications for the 5 men, Everton Douglas, Nicholas Heat, Courtney Hall, Courtney Thompson, and Gavin Noble, to be brought to court and released. Now, Dion Jackson Miller was in court today and now joins us live. Dion, it's good to have you. Can you tell us what happened?
Okay, well, let's start by acknowledging, Janella, that we did report last week that the court had actually ordered the men released. Now, when the formal order was published, as well as a statement came out from the Office of the Court Management Division, it emerged that that wasn't so. What had happened was that an order was made for the men to be brought to court, and in fact, they were brought to court today, and the court heard evidence from a number of police officers who were cross-examined as to why it is the men had been detained.
So these are the men, just to be clear, these men, they've been held in detention for 1 year and over?
For different periods of time in relation to different men. So for instance, one of the men who was before the court today, Hall, he has been held since last year, August, for instance. Another one had been held since January. So there are different periods because they were held under 3 different states of emergency, St. Andrews South, Westmoreland, as well as East Kingston.
Okay, so Dion, you said that the police, they gave evidence before the courts. What were some of the things that they were saying?
Now, initially, everyone who appears would have already have given affidavit evidence, right? So what was happening in the morning today was cross-examination, and the police officers were essentially justifying the detention, saying that yes, there was reason to hold these men. So in the case, for instance, of Hall, Superintendent Gary McKenzie had said that he is a gangster, he was involved in activities which involved murder and shootings, that the police had intended to charge him but did not yet have the evidence to do so. And this was the kind of thing we also heard earlier in the day when it came to Douglas. The police again had been saying that Superintendent Victor Hamilton was saying that again he was the leader of the Jakes Road gang. They didn't have evidence to charge him, hence he was being held under the state of public emergency because of concerns about his activities in and around the communities.
Okay, so to be clear, none of these men have been charged?
None have been charged, and that's exactly the issue. Their attorneys are saying they've been held for months without charge, and they believe the circumstances of their detention are unlawful, and therefore they should be released. What is going to happen tomorrow, though? Because in the afternoon, when they came back, the attorney for the detainees, John Clark, essentially said, look, we're not going to question anymore. We're not going to cross-examine the police officers because we're really not arguing about the fact that they were detained. Our argument is that the detention was unlawful. So tomorrow, when everybody goes back to court, we're going to be hearing submissions from both sides, from the Attorney General's chambers, from the lawyers representing the men, in relation to whether or not the detentions were unlawful and whether the men should be released.
All right, so did we cover everything?
I hope so, once I can get into the courtroom, because COVID is making the numbers a restriction issue. You know, the court has protocols in place. Now we can't have too many people in the court, so got to get there early to get in.
All right, thank you so much, Dion Jackson Miller. And of course, we will have more on this developing story, hopefully tomorrow. Thank you so much, Dion.